What's going on, Winners Dialogue family? It's Leon again, checking in with you. Shake my hand. I trust that you having another productive and positive week. As always, today we're here at My Secret Mentor, the place where we highlight black entrepreneurs in the DMV area. Specifically, today I got a special guest in the building for you. You always wanted to know how wine was made, and you understand that it takes time. So we here with the lady of the hour, Lexi Sangrias. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Amazing.
Good.
This is a spectacular day.
It
You
is.
know why?
Why?
Because you're here.
Oh, thank you.
So, can you give a little backstory about yourself and introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm a native Washingtonian. What can I really say about myself? I'm pretty outgoing, so I'm gonna kind of give you information as to how I kind of got started. I went and pursued. Well, I got my bartender's license in like 2016, 2017, and I went and got my master's. And I was by myself. Like I went in Chicago by myself without family.
Education.
Yeah, I had to go get my master's degree, but I went there, and lo and behold, I found more information about who I am and what I like and what my passion is, because I didn't really know what I really wanted to do. Though I went to school, you know what I mean? I had this goal of becoming like a marketer, and I still am in marketing, but
that was your major? Marketing?
It was I had communications and minor in marketing. So then I went to get my master's because I really wanted to kind of pursue that. And then I went to Chicago and I found a new love. And I always kind of stressed the whole idea of like knowing what you love to do because it matters. So that's what I pretty much did. About my personality, I'm really outgoing, down to earth. And that's why I was down for this interview and just kind of providing that information that people need to kind of get started.
And that's what it's about, because if you're willing to step out your comfort zone, you can do nothing but grow from there, right?
Exactly. I highly agree.
So when you first started your journey, right, you in Chicago, you got your bartender's license, you got your MBA, you feeling real good because you on the next level, right?
I got my MS, and I mean, I think I was probably... You would think I would feel really good. I think I was more anxious. I was kind of nervous because I had an idea of starting my goal of getting my master's. And when I get my master's, I'm giving that bomb job, get that nice check. But after, prior to me graduating, God laid upon my heart a new venture. And I was like, what? And when I actually started on it, I kind of got anxious and I started to get confused. I'm like, I thought I had a goal here, but you're taking me somewhere else. And
so what made you gravitate towards the wine industry in particular?
I love wine. That was my go-to drink in school. And when pursuing my bachelor's, I didn't go get Amsterdam or...
Oh, okay. Whoa.
I didn't get...
College girl and wine. Okay, you knew what wine to pick out in college?
Me and my best friend, our go-to wine was Sweet Walter. If we had a stressful week, we both would get a bottle of Sweet Walter. She'd get one bottle, I'd get another bottle.
What was your favorite flavor?
The sweet red. It's just it's the sweet red.
Mm.
We will both get the red, and we will be out. We'll drink it, watch a nice movie, and we'll be out.
Good candles, good ambiance.
Exactly. We'll talk about our stressful week, and yeah, it would be good. But I was always a wine girl. So, and when I would go to restaurants, my first drink to ask for is a sangria, and I could not understand why so many restaurants couldn't get a simple recipe right. And
so that's where you seen the need.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is where you said, okay, I need to start this. So what was that first step into this? How did you find and figure out where to go from there? You said, okay, I know there's a need in the market for it, but now I need to understand, how do I enter the market? Did you first enter that market?
So let me kind of go back. So before I graduated, got the idea, I actually had access to a successful business owner in DC that I've been working with since I was 14. My godmom, she was an entrepreneur, so I automatically went to her.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to B&B Events. And she literally mentored me through the whole process, because when I first received the idea, I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this, and this, and I gotta graduate. Okay, I was kind of overwhelmed with everything I needed to do in order to kind of put my dream into fruition. So she kind of mentored me through everything. She told me where I need to start, what I need to consider, my niche, what do I want to focus on, my brand goal for me for the time frame, short term before we kind of think about long term. And I was, she told me to consider my licenses and stuff like that. So I thank God for her, because if I didn't have her, I would just be like so lost. I'm always big on mentors. Go get a mentor.
Yes.
And because we think we know everything until you kind of get in, the nits and grits of everything and getting stuff started. And that's when you kind of need that guidance. So
finding somebody that's been there before.
Exactly.
They can show you the way. You showed up with the map and they say, okay, you need to go here first. And you go here. They help you lay out your journey a lot better than you wasting time, essentially, doing it on your own.
And then I say, even if it's an idea, like, still talk to a mentor, because you never know. A small idea can definitely grow into a big one.
So was your aunt your first mentor?
My godmom, she was my first mentor. It was her. It was several other people. Like, by the grace of God, I even met Instagram owners with wine companies that have been mentors for me virtually. So knowing your market, knowing where you want to go as a brand and a company, and following those pages. Like, if you have a goal, say for instance, for me, my goal is not just to sell sangria. My goal, that sangria is just the beginning. But so therefore, I follow companies who have brands that are already established where I want to go.
Yeah, so you can follow that path.
Exactly.
You say, okay, I'm here. I can see what is beginning path. This is the medium side of the business. This is the grand scale.
Exactly.
You can't just jump to the grand scale.
No, you gotta know, because there's a whole getting to know you process, and I'm so big on it because I want to provide a personality with my brand. I wanted people to connect with it outside of the beverage itself. I want you to understand what it's about, and so you have to know what you want people to understand. Like, some people want personality, some people want to focus on a mission, some people want to focus on a cause. So you want to know what you have to focus on prior to, you pushing everything out, and write down everything you want to do. Like, write it down.
Write it down.
Put it
Please
on your wall.
Write it down.
It's so big.
And keep seeing, your mind will work in a way that says, I'm going to figure out how to get to this next thing because I keep seeing this. I got to figure out a way.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did for my year. So it's so funny because I wrote my goals down. God was like, write it down on a paper. Don't just write it down in a book. Let's see it. And so I literally write it down. Even with COVID and everything going on, I wrote my goals down, and literally he is checking off every box.
And it feels good. Even as you check those boxes off, it feels good. It's like a whole nother level of fulfillment that happens when you just make that check mark.
Right? Like, it's like, okay, I'm actually moving. Because I think this thing about, like, with business, it's like, where do I start?
Yeah.
And that confusion part is like, that's the first hump.
Yeah.
The first thing you need to do is write it down. What do you want to do? Like,
yes.
Where do you want to go with it? No matter how big, no matter how small, be clear so that you're intentional.
Your map.
Exactly.
That's your map right there. You got to have your map laid out for you. When you first started this, because you're dealing with college and you're trying to figure out this, you got your bartender's license, time is like the biggest thing that people overlook in entrepreneurship. Is like, I want to start a business, but I don't have the time. And it's like, we all got the same amount of time. Let's get rid of that excuse. As they said in a book called Thinking Big, a lot of people suffer from excuse-itis. So to get over excuse-itis and manage your time properly, what did you do to, take your time back?
I threw away my free time. Like, I didn't have any free time.
Free time is for people that has too much time.
Well, I mean, I'm a big person that believes in self-care. I'm all here for self-care. And it's important because your body can really drain itself. So I knew, I had literally kind of put myself in a mode of, I'm not going to have free time. Okay, so how do I still take care of myself still? I changed my diet. I woke up extremely early. I made sure I worked out. I made sure I filled my body with alkaline, and I got my day started. I wasn't having as much free time, so I needed to make sure that was my free time. That was my main focus. Was
alignment.
Exactly. So, and it helped me along the way because when I graduated, I came home and I was like, let's get this started. I didn't have a graduation party or celebration. I said, y'all can send me a nice little text message and I'm good.
Thank you, but I gotta work.
Exactly.
Got work to be done.
Exactly. So I did a launch party, and so I spent like 7 to 8 months and literally testing my product. And I tested to see people's response. Did I get a lot of sales? Were people interested? Did I get returning customers? How can I maintain those returning customers? What can my customer service customer service framework look like? You know,
this is all imperative information to figure out. I definitely want to go into details about those things, but first I want to know the educational component to how you figured out once you got started. You said your license and all these different things. You had to educate yourself. What did you go at to get this education?
Google.
You just Googled it?
I Googled.
What did you Google?
I looked up how to start a sangria company. So the hard part was kind of connecting with people in the industry, specifically my industry. Sharing information is not a frequent thing. And if they do or willing to share the information, they want some tithe and offering.
Oh,
and it's an understanding.
It's an understanding. Payola.
Exactly. It makes sense, but it also kind of hinders someone who may not necessarily have the capital to get that information. So I literally just kind of started from the ground, and I called, the state Bureau of Liquor. I think I'm saying it wrong, but I called the State Bureau of Liquor. I also called Maryland Business Express to get insight. I talked to my mother. I mean, godmother, and she was really she was active in the whole process of me getting more information about it. But I say Google, because honestly, the information is out there. You just have to go
really search for it.
Yeah, you just have to search
So
for it.
it's not that the information is not out there. It's the fact that a lot of people give up on the trying aspect of it.
Honestly, it's exhausting. I'm not going to lie. But once you kind of realize, okay, I'm getting more and more information each day, this is making me feel good because I'm kind of moving along. You have to be patient. Like, I was not a patient person when I first started this business. I was like, okay, I want something, I'm going to go get it.
You want to take the action.
Exactly. And I expected it to be kind of fast. And having this business, it literally taught me patience. Like, you can't, nothing you really, really want to succeed successfully. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. It's not. You got to take your time. You got to be clear. You got to be, direct. You just got to take your time so that when you do come out, it is successful. It looks like what you want it to look like. You know what I mean?
The idea is to pull it from your brain and then make other people see it. Because a lot of people say, y'all just don't see my vision. But it's not their job to see your vision. It's your job to make them
clear.
Yeah, to see your vision. Like, when they make new shoes, I don't be in the room looking to design the shoes. When they show up, I'm like, I didn't know I wanted this, but now that they're here, I want them.
Exactly. And that's why it kind of goes back to just writing everything down. And if you don't have the information is there.
Information is always there. And we got you here on My Secret Mentor to serve as a mentor, so we lucky in that way.
I'm more than willing to share my journey and how to get information, because it's probably other sangria companies that want to come out, like, because I have a market, you have a market, you have a focus, I have a focus, and it's not the same. So I am big on sharing because, like I said, the industry that I'm in, so I've been lucky to find some really good people, but I've also been not lucky in finding people that weren't willing to share how they kind of got started.
A lot of people don't want to share this information. They keep it a secret.
And I get it too, because it's like, why would I give you the information for free? Because they very well may have to walk the path.
So what is those numbers looking like as far as this? Because you're saying that people are charging, right? What is this numbers? What's like the numbers that people typically charge for this information?
To learn the winemaking to learn the process of like starting a wine business, from what I've seen, they've been in the 1300s. They've been they've been in the 900s, and for me, I think it's nice of them to, at least even charge to get the information, because some people are not even willing to give
Tell
you
you nothing.
Exactly.
Figure it out. Go Google it.
Exactly. But for me, because I am still growing, I'm like, I can put that money somewhere else. But what I would do is just put in the groundwork and find information for myself, because I'm still learning, new things every day.
So when we talk about the money side of things, right, it seems like you got a good memory. So do you remember when you earned your first dollar with this company? Can you take us to that moment?
Yeah. That was actually at my launch party. That was like my first time making $1. Like, I had a nice turnout. I had a nice turnout because it was not just my family. It was people that were not, that close to me, that was willing to come and support. So that was the first time. And I also made my first second dollar at my second event at my cousin's, like, Caribbean Fest. They do.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how was it, the planning of the actual, event for the first tasting?
Oh, it was chaotic because I was nervous, but it was
sweaty.
Exactly. Like, oh my God, nobody's gonna show up. But the planning, it kind of got started prior to me coming to home, like coming to back home, and that's what me and my godmom were talking about, like, the first 2 weeks. So, like, literally I had a calendar, what we were going to discuss this month, what we're going to discuss this week, because I was meeting with her weekly.
Okay.
So I was able to kind of plan my, my launch party prior to me coming. And I went from the drinks, the amount of people, how much alcohol do I need? And at that time, I didn't know how to make enough liquor for everybody. Like, what's the large amount? And I was accustomed to making a medium size amount. So
did you have, like, small portions, cups, like shot glass size portions?
No.
Or?
So what I did was I had pouches.
I
had people pay for pouches instead. And so that was a lot easier because we were outside and, it was nice. Rooftop vibe.
Got pictures of it?
Yeah, I got pictures.
Oh, man, we're going to add them. We're going to insert those pictures right here. So go to the YouTube page and watch the pictures. See the pictures.
This strawberry frizz sangria is delicious. Like, by far, it's really good. And I love the fact that they put it in this cute little bag.
Have it for later. You can crush it right on site, or you can have it for later. And it's just a convenient little. Bro, this is tough. Shout out to you, Lex. It's tough.
This is a great event. It's really nice.
It was really nice, but I think more so kind of knowing what is, what your budget needs to be for future events. Like, what do you need to splurge on and what do you need to kind of be, preserve on? Exactly.
So how did you come up with your pricing then? Like, how did you determine, okay, because wine can vary dramatically.
Yeah, and I was using the most not the most expensive wine, but my personal favorites. Like, I was using that type of wine when I first started. And that's good, like, and it provided me with a premium quality product, but it wasn't necessarily it wasn't the best use of my money. You know what I mean? Me being, a start out entrepreneur, I needed to kind of know how and when to allocate a lot of money and when to preserve your money. So just kind of knowing that balance.
So you realized that you were spending a lot more than you probably had to spend.
Exactly.
But when it came down to pricing to sell, how did you come up with that number?
So that kind of goes back to my question. So when you look at how much you spend on your wine, how much you spend on your liquor, the bottles, the labels, the actual pouches, you round that number up. So say, for instance, that amount of money is like $45. Consider your labor.
Yes. Consider yourself.
Exactly. Consider your labor. So hypothetically, you want to charge yourself maybe $10 per hour. You spent 2 hours, making it. Consider that you bought 15 pouches. Divide the number, how much you spent on, I'm saying this wrong. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's fine.
Total up the number, total up the number, how much you spent on all your products, and divide it by the number of, like, bottles or pouches or little cups you have, and based upon how many people you are expected to come to your event. So hypothetically, 40 people. Do they drink a lot? You know what I mean? Do they?
Finally, we have the formula.
Yeah, like, do they drink a lot? Do they typically get 2 cups? Like, I had to learn that in my first launch event.
It takes time.
Exactly, it took time. But me doing events after events, now I can come up with a number like that.
You
like,
say, okay, now I know what so many people to expect. Do you like do pre-sale tickets or something when you used to do your events? Or?
So I didn't do pre-sale tickets. I was supposed to have a Caribbean Fest event this recent year, but Rona.
We all feeling it.
Exactly, but
It's building our character.
Exactly, it's helping us look in the inside. But I did do pre-sale tickets for that. But for my future events, I will. But at the beginning, no, I didn't do it. I kind of honestly, I don't think I charged for my launch event. I know.
I was just thinking because I was like, okay, well, if you have pre-sale tickets, you kind of have an idea of at least how many people are going to show up. So you can better figure out, okay, if this many people show up, they typically, men and women, they tend to drink this much more versus this. And I can plan accordingly. That's what I was just thinking as far as that. But since you've been in this business, what would you say is your biggest hurdle that you experience?
Rejection.
Rejection? Like on what level?
I would probably say rejection on a personal level as well as, I think it's both. It's no level for me because I had to think about, like, you know, even close family members or my godmom, like, Alexis, you need to do this. You need to, you know, consider this. You made a mistake here.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, somebody tasting my drink, man, like, I don't really like this flavor. I like the other flavor.
Okay, well, they like one of the flavors. That's what matters.
Exactly. And just being comfortable with your product. I know for a fact so many people have tasted something. I'm not saying so many people. I would say out of the 100 people that have tasted my sangria, you may have 2 to 3 people that like.
Did you say 100,000? Because that's what I'm hearing in the future.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. But out of the 100
Near
people
future.
that, yes, very near. Out of the 100 people that have tasted my sangria, they're like, oh, you know, I want some more alcohol. And when I first started, they used to drive me nuts. Not mad at them, but I was mad at myself because I'm taking it as, oh my goodness, like I did something wrong. I got to change the ingredients, and I end up altering the product completely. And I was like, this is not what I started. This wasn't the goal. And I had to kind of really dig deep into what my purpose of starting my business was. So it goes back to writing stuff down. So I think that was the biggest thing for me. It's just understanding not everybody is going to like your product.
Know your everybody.
Exactly. Know your niche. Like, you know your market. And if you know your market, you'll take rejection well, you'll take criticism well, because honestly, you're not going to be flawless. Coca-Cola, as big as they are, they still get rejection. You know what I mean? So
some people prefer Pepsi.
Exactly, over Sprite.
We call them Pepsi people.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and even those Pepsi people may, I don't like what you did with the batch last time. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of get okay with rejection and understanding it's not really attack on you and an attack on you and your character. It's more so their preference, and people are entitled to their preference. That's what makes us unique. So I think you just have to kind of take the rejection, take in the information, you know, what's needed. Like, okay, I could change this. I could change the package so it's useful. But don't necessarily take it as, oh, I need to change my product completely. Like, it's not working.
Don't sell yourself.
Exactly.
Because you know what you got in this for. You know, you understood what I mean, they say the customer's always right, and they're right about some things.
Right. I mean, honestly, for me, exactly like what you said, customers are always right. But like for me now, when people say, "Oh, you know, I thought it was a lot more alcohol in here," and I'm like, "It's a sangria."
Hey, we got a stronger brand if you really want it. It's over there.
I'm okay with, and I'm very clear with people. Like it's gonna get you nice and right, but is it gonna get you drunk? You should probably go ahead and go to the liquor store, because if you're looking for that,
are you looking for tequila or are you looking for sangria? Which one
exactly?
Are you looking for?
My sangria is definitely a nice balance between, you know, wine, liquor, and the flavor. I want you to experience it all. I don't want it to be limited.
An experience.
Exactly. Let the taste buds explore. Like, you exploring with it.
Let them.
Yes, you got to explore with it. And that's my goal for it, is because I want it to be an experience. That was something that I felt lacked in a lot of sangrias that I've tasted, and I wanted to kind of provide that in my product.
So if we get down to the technical side of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because knowing your marketing and everything is imperative.
Mm-hmm.
But people need equipment for this, I'm sure. There's some equipment involved. What are the essential equipment pieces that are needed to get going? May not start off with these pieces, because sometimes, most things in business you build.
Yeah.
You ain't going to start with the best of everything, but what are the essentials?
Now it's like a whole, it's on a whole another level now. But when I first started, I would probably say my most essential piece is my dispenser. It's like you asked me earlier how I put the sangrias in the bottles. For me, it's easier to use a dispenser. But now it's a different.
Any particular brand or anything or dispenser? No.
You can get a dispenser at Wegmans. Like you can get dispensers. I found a really nice dispenser at Walmart. I just bought just because I thought it was
just like the one that just pour in, or you got to like the pourers.
I prefer you pour from the nozzle.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not out here.
Dumping.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm making it, you know what I mean, and I have to make adjustments or whatever may have you, I definitely do that. But outside of that, no. And then now, because I'm exploring with the flavor even more, it's not the dispenser, it's something else, and I haven't purchased it yet. But it's on a whole nother level. But like you said, when you start out, don't feel like you have to have all the ingredients. Don't feel like you have to have everything at once. Get yourself started, because you have to start somewhere, and as you continue on, you perfect your craft.
You definitely will. What about labels? Because you got some beautiful labels here.
Oh, thank you.
Look at these labels.
Shout out to 2 Up. They did. He did a bomb job. 2 Up Productions.
Let's go 2 Up.
2 Up.
Double up.
Right. So like, by the grace of God, I had literally everything I needed. My best friend is the business owner of 2 Up Productions, so he created my labels and stuff like that.
Network.
Exactly. So he was able to kind of get me started. So that helped. But they also have resources like, I think it's Fiverr.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Fiverr. And then you said Label Maker.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out if you had like a label maker that you went out and got to print out the labels.
Oh, no. I outsource them. One, because
outsourcing is undervalued.
It really is.
Just go out there. You can't do everything. Your time. We go back to that time thing.
Come on
and
here.
then you start running out of that, and you start saying,
that
what can I
so true.
outsource?
Exactly.
It now.
And that's what I had to learn too. Like, outside of rejection, it was just knowing what I'm good at. And
personal limitations.
Exactly. Like, I can't do everything. I'm not even going to lie. I would not even want to sit here and do everything. First of all,
it's a headache after a while.
Yeah. And you got to think about your time. Like, along with your money, know what you need to kind of put all your time into versus what you can preserve your time in.
So now that you build this business, you got your customer base going, how do you keep your customers coming back? Because I'm sure this is delicious wine, but I'm sure you using that marketing degree as well.
I'm using a mixture of both. So because I'm rebranding, I haven't like been on social media like that. I'm kind of like trying to get things done on a back end.
Yeah.
So I would say I keep my customers from my products and my customer service. So, and when I typically used to market myself on social media, like it would be my marketing and stuff like that, and just me outsourcing as well, getting insight on how I can better target my market, how I can diversify my content, what content is better, well served in certain situations versus another. So yeah, but honestly, right now, like, I still get sales and I'm not posting. So
word of mouth is growing.
Word of mouth is growing. And also, like you mentioned before, networking, because I have a great amount of a great community that still posts me or posts my drinks, and I'm not even how can I say it? I'm not even online right now. So
yeah, good, because I seen you Sophia was talking about you. Sable Sophia, shout out to her.
Shout out to Sophia.
And I was like, hold on, she got her own wine. Hold on, who what? Let me find out about this, because unless you looking, sometimes you just won't know. But like you said, you got other people doing things around you that's in your network, and they're going to put the information out there for you sometimes. So that's a great thing to have happen.
Exactly. She was really good, because during the time when I saw Sophia, I was considering rebranding. So I literally was like, I stepped back and I was like, I have a goal for my business, and it's just right now it's not where I want it to be. Not because of finance or anything. I was getting good responses from my customers. That wasn't the issue. It was more so what the brand looked like, and my goal for what I want the brand to look like. So I was like,
you're looking to level up some more.
Exactly. And I was like, okay, so do I step back? Do I keep going? Like, and I had to come to grips with, like, it's okay to step back. You know what I mean? It's okay to come back, plan, redirect, pivot, and then come back out. It's okay. Everybody's paths are different. Don't feel like you always got to be, out there and available. When truth is, you're not really where you want to be with your business. And to be honest, your business is connected to you. So if you are not necessarily where you want to be with your business, you are not where you want to be with yourself. So you need to both get that together and then come back out.
Yeah, because you're your brand. You're a billboard for your brand and your family and yourself.
Exactly.
So you need to push that forward accordingly. And that makes complete sense to me. So I was looking at the different options you have. Because I think, especially when I go into liquor stores, I look at the variation. Sometimes you get overwhelmed, but I noticed that you have something in particular that sets you apart. You got a vegan option. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, my vegan options. So I use vegan-friendly wine, and all of my sangrias are made with fresh fruit. So that wasn't the hard part.
What's the hard part?
Well, knowing, for one, how to kind of go about it and, dealing with vegan friendly and making sure I'm not dealing with messing up any allergies or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I had to be clear and distinct in that area. So that was probably the hardest part. And then coming up with like the, recipes, because I make my own recipes.
Okay.
So it was just more so like I'm kind of limited low key, but like, where do I start? Because you can't just have like, your fruits and then the wine. You got to also make sure the alcohol is vegan friendly. So it was some, it was a little bit of research.
So what are the current flavors you have?
So this season is not necessarily that vegan friendly, because I switched up the wines or whatever. So
I understand. I know you told me earlier that you do have seasonal options.
I have seasonal options, and I would like to. My goal is to test, see what responses I get from each, recipe. So I got my vegan friendly wines is my late night passion. It was a late night passion. I'm sorry. And then I also have the Boss Sangria that's not out anymore, and I think I cannot remember the third one, but it was 3 of them.
Oh man, if you got one of them, you got an exclusive. You better hold on to that bottle.
Yeah, no, I love them. My vegan friendly wines, because one, I had so many people that was like, oh my gosh, I can't really have certain wines, and this is great. And so, and even one of my returning customers, she was like, this helps me sleep. I feel so good after, because some people, they are limited in what they can eat with everything, not just with COVID, just with what's in this food, like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to provide an option for people that that's not able to kind of enjoy like everybody else at the same extent. So
you bring new people to the table, and that's definitely necessary.
Exactly.
So when you trying out these different flavors, like you say, you test them out with people, do you like survey it? Do you keep track? How do you keep track of that?
So my order form allows me to keep track.
That's
so
very clear.
Yeah,
my makes order a lot of sense.
When you fill it out, all the information that I have people fill out, it literally provides me with data after. So, which is good.
You look at the analytics.
Exactly.
So when you first chose your first few flavors, did you do a bunch of research, survey, or did you have like a gut feeling, say, you know what, I'm going to go with these because I like these?
I probably went the wrong way because, I mean, I didn't really survey. I kind of just went with it.
The flow, how you feeling?
Exactly. Like, I'm kind of low key a risk taker. So I was just like, I mean, the worst they can say is they don't like it. I mean, it hurt my feelings, but I prefer that my feelings be hurt and I see.
You an action taker.
Yeah.
You out here taking action. You like, okay, feelings hurt. Okay, now I got a solution.
Right. So I was able to kind of test it out, see, you know what. Oh, you know what? And actually, I had my school friends taste my flavors before I actually put them out when I got home. So I was testing them in Chicago with my peers. So I had a best friend that was tasting it, her and her husband, and then I had 2 friends in Chicago that actually tasted it too. So shout out to Pierre and them. So
come on.
Yes.
Thanks for being the official tasters.
Yeah, they were
shy.
Exactly. So it was great because they ended up tasting it and they enjoyed it. And then I had my master's group, we had like this big project we had to do. It was like 5 or 6 of us, and I had them taste it. Like I was having everybody taste my sangria.
Every time, take the opportunity. You see opportunity, take it.
Exactly.
Take the opportunity.
Like test your product out if you don't feel pressured to like have it all together.
And I heard an interesting quote. Somebody was talking about fear, and it's like, why don't people take action? It's because of fear. And it's like fear happens between the time opportunity presents itself and action taking place. If you take action quicker when opportunity presents itself, it's less fear in between. The longer you take, the bigger the fear gets.
And honestly, for me, like fear used to be my best friend. Like, oh my gosh, Alexis, you shouldn't do it. I was like, I'm finna do it. After that, I moved to Chicago and I did it. I was like, man, what? I can do
what
this.
What else? What's next?
Yeah, like I got this. So I did it. I still was terrified. Like I was terrified for months, and I still did it. Like, so I'm proud of myself for that.
We glad that you did it. Speaking of being terrified, I heard a lot of horror stories when it comes to storage. How do you figure out how to store this?
Jesus. Like, don't get me started. I had to buy a wine refrigerator. So that helped. But before my wine refrigerator, my refrigerator was Sangriaville. So I was able to kind of store there. And then I also stored in my godmom's house. So I made sure the wine was nice and fresh. But at first, it was, like you said, it is horrific. But when I had the pouches, it was a lot easier because I was able to kind of put them in there and they were good to go. But as I started to elevated my brand a little bit and I put them in like glass bottles, I thought I had the trick. So I had I was like, oh, I could put them in the big jugs and they'll be in there. When I tell you them jugs used to bust.
I was about to say, did any of these glasses ever break? Did you ever drop a box of them?
No, don't say that, no.
I don't want you to do that. I was just wondering if it happened.
I did drop a bottle in front of a customer's house, and it was their order, and I was like, okay.
Whoops, it's here.
It was just a bad business day. I ran all the way back home, got them a new, fresh order, and got it all in one day. But
and they appreciate every second.
Yeah, they, so shout out to customer service, but making sure, they were good. But yeah, storage is, you got to find your way of storing. Like for me, it's definitely my wine refrigerator, and now one of my business colleagues where he's talking about we got to buy another one, and I was like, and then we have to, because of a new product I'm coming out with, I have to maybe get another freezer. So I was just like, oh my God,
it happens.
Yeah. But it's good.
Is it what size freezer do you think is a good starting point?
I'm not gonna get an answer to that
because
it all depends on
where many people you got.
Exactly, the amount of people you typically serve. So it all depends.
So is it like when you say a wine refrigerator, is it because of the temperature or does it do anything in particular?
The temperature.
Okay.
Biggest thing is the temperature, because white wine and red wine have to be kind of stored at separate temperatures.
Oh, okay.
It's a nice medium that you can keep it if you don't have, the finances to purchase two different. Yeah, because they are expensive. Like, they are very expensive. So
I thought about getting one, but then I realized I don't have enough. Why I ended up put it in?
You better be
I said,
packing.
why am I doing this?
Exactly. And for me, I am not gonna lie. I'm gonna get a mini one for my house and stuff like that. You know, for personal brands that I love. So. But
the best brand is Lexi Sangrias. That's the brand that's gonna be in that freezer that you're gonna have.
You gotta get you some. My best friend.
Oh no, I'm getting some.
Yeah, you gotta taste it. My best friend actually got he got his new house recently. Shout out to Lord, you knew. And he got his new house and he was like, I want 6 bottles of Lexi Sangria. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, he wants the old flavors. Okay, I gotta go back in the little.
Speaking of how, like, when you told me about dropping the box, I thought it was interesting earlier when you told me the delivery process, because I thought I was under the impression that it just got mailed out to me, like, oh, I'm ordering it, it's mailed out to me. But can you speak to that delivery process?
So legally, I even looked it up, and I like I said, I'm not pretending like I know everything, but from what my little research,
expert, yes, mentor.
What my research told me is that you can't legally like ship wine. You can't do that. So, and I don't want to be arrested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't go to jail.
No, I can't. I don't want to.
We need you out here.
Exactly. So you have to, if you partner up with a winery that's amongst the 38 wineries in Maryland, you are able to ship your wine if you partner up with them to, you know, sell your wine or whatever you want to do. But as an independent business, you have to have several licenses to be able to do that.
What are those particular licenses that you would need, you know?
I know some.
Okay.
I don't want to speak on all of them. I know some.
The ones that you did that's implemented for you currently at this level.
State liquor license. I believe your TTB license. I'm not quite sure. And I know when I read for FedEx, it said that you have to have a partnership and an agreement with them as a company. So I'm not, you know, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to speak on all of it because, like I said, I'm still learning, you know. But those are the ones I know for a fact you probably need.
Well, at least we know that you're doing the research.
Oh, I'm always
that's necessary.
I'm always researching. My team, they be so over me. They be like, "Girl, you wake up thinking about your business." I'm like, because like
it's mine.
Exactly, it's my area. Let me be great. So yeah,
not
exactly.
So I got a question, right? And I think this is gonna be a staple question in this series, is because writing down things are important. Rereading it and reciting it and seeing it for yourself is important, but understanding your why tends to be the main thing that keeps you going. What's your why behind what you do?
My why. I have several. I don't want you to think my
no,
spacing out is because I don't have any.
We take it as thinking.
I
real
have
answers.
several. So my biggest why is to do what I'm doing right now, to help and mentor young ladies or young men who are looking to kind of start a business or even have a goal for that matter. It doesn't necessarily have to be an entrepreneurship, but they have a goal and their life end up getting, you know, it pivots, it goes a different direction, and just providing them with that information. And then also just showing people that, you know, an everyday girl can definitely get it done. Like, you don't necessarily have to have a whole bunch of capital to get you started. You can kind of get started without that capital and get that capital later on. So I think that's definitely my why I'm doing my sangrias, and to provide bomb flavor. Like, I'm really tired of going to these, you know,
you're making changes.
Yeah,
in all different directions.
I'm so tired of going to these restaurants, and it's either too much liquor and it's not enough wine, or it's too much, you know, wine, not enough liquor, no flavor. Like, I'm not saying all of them are trash, but, you know, I be out here unsatisfied.
You can't be walking around here unsatisfied when you spending your money.
Come on here.
And you want to get what you expected.
Exactly. Like, that's all I want.
I would hate to order a hamburger and they bring me out some steak. Come on, I like steak, but I didn't order a steak right now.
Right, like we got to be clear.
Give me what I want.
Exactly. The restaurant, the service used to be so irritating. I'm like, I'm not sure. Do you want me to go back there? Like,
it sounds like they're about to start stocking Lexi Sangrias in these restaurants.
They are. Like,
and if they're not, they better start.
Get into it. Like, come on here. Get into it. But, yeah. No, I definitely want to provide bomb flavor, and I want to provide an experience. I feel like we don't take advantage of our palate outside of food. You know, when you think about having an experience, I want some bomb banana pudding, or I want some, some cheesecake or stuff like that. But, it's food. But in a drink, we kind of dismiss the significance of a drink. A drink can definitely satisfy that meal to a whole nother level.
Pairing.
Exactly.
You got to learn how to pair your foods.
Yeah, you got to know how to
A lot of people don't know how to do that. And that's the problem.
See, that's
education.
You got to get some Lexi Sangria because we kind of go with everything. So any environment, any low, you got to get, period. You got to get some Lexi Sangria because it definitely goes with anything. So, yeah.
That's the slogan. Lexi Sangria goes with everything.
Oh, I like
we put that on everything.
Exactly. Put that on everything.
So, in order, to keep your relationships, because you're delivering things to people, what type of tactics do you use to keep those customers and clients reoccurring? You send them like thank you cards. Thank you for supporting.
So what I used to do is kind of put a thank you on the side, and I let them know, like I send a long text message prior to my delivery, like it's a system. Okay. So I let them know, like, good morning, if I have deliveries that day, good morning, I'll be delivering between 2 to 4 p.m. And I'll give them the rules, not really rules, but like information, like, hey, because of COVID, I'll be dropping it at your porch.
Yes.
I'll let you know when I'm on my way. I'll let you know when the sangria is on your porch so you can grab it. And I hope you enjoy your sangria. And after they receive it and they let me know, yes, I received it, or before I leave their house, I text them. I'm like, thank you so much. Your order at of Late Night Passion and Boss Sangria is on the doorstep. Please continue to provide me with some content, like pictures or videos, because that content does matter. Nice testimonials are amazing. And I'll tell them, enjoy your sangrias. But like I said this earlier, like, if they have any issues, anything, please let me know. Don't have the issues and talk about it amongst, whoever, and don't let me know, because like I said, I take feedback very well. I don't ever, get to a place where I'm like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? No, you have a preference. I respect your preference. Whether that's you liking my drink or you not liking my drink, I like to receive that information so I know, for the future. And, if we can make adjustments at the moment, like, Lexi, I ordered 3. You got it. I'm going to bring it to you.
And you bringing it to them. You showing up with it in hand.
Exactly. Yep. So, just providing that space and that communication between you and your customer, it makes a huge difference, because, like I said, a lot of companies don't do that. It's kind of...
Yours is very personal.
Yeah, and
the customer's gonna remember you.
Exactly.
I'm supporting her, not just this.
Right. I want you to feel my personality out, amongst the brand. So even when I, do get, big, I want you to still feel that personality in your home. Like, oh, I want you to feel, because it's a part of a community. It's a movement. It's a, it's a whole thing. I
gotta ask too. How do people order this? Because I want to know. I want to make sure everyone knows how to get their own.
So there is a order form on my Instagram, and you can just click the link, and it takes you to the order form, and you fill it out. Asks you whether you have allergies, you know what I mean, or you're a first time customer.
Consider it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel the VIP privilege already.
Yeah. You got all the VIP privileges, but
Ciroc never asked me that. You never could.
And that's. I mean, it makes sense. Like it's on a bottle, but it's on my bottle too. But I don't know. Ciroc be out here. They cool though. I definitely use their liquor. Cool. I use their liquor. They bomb. But that's why I kind of did. That's what makes me different as a brand, because I definitely want to be. I want to get to know you. Like I know another thing that I'm going to do to add on my order form is tell me when your birthday is, because for one of my customers, shout out to Asia, she orders my sangrias religiously, and I love her for it. Like, she always orders my sangrias, like not a couple of bottles. She orders big cases of my sangrias. So I asked her one day, I was like, when is your birthday? And she was like, oh, it's in July. I was like, okay. For her birthday, I dropped her off a sangria for free.
Come on,
and
care package on the way for the birthday.
And I said, happy birthday. And it was her favorite sangria because I knew it because based upon her
she kept ordering it.
Exactly. She ordered a lot of different ones, but I knew which one she specifically told me was her favorite. So I dropped her off on one free sangria. You know what I mean?
Customer appreciation.
Exactly.
So what's your you say your order forms are located on Instagram. Is Instagram your preferred place to promote and market?
Instagram and Facebook. I'm trying to explore Twitter.
I need to learn LinkedIn still. I'm sure it's business to be had over there.
It is. I don't know why. I'm definitely going to explore with LinkedIn because I was told by several wine company owners, winery owners, they were saying LinkedIn is it. Like, especially finding the supply owner, you know what I mean, getting to know your local liquor stores and stuff like that. They said LinkedIn is like definitely the spot. And I was like, no, I didn't think about that.
Come on. And I'm glad you brought up the future because this next segment was inspired by the Black Running Organization's slogan, Let's Grow. So I want to ask you, what are your next 3 biggest grows that you want to have in the next 2 years? So what are the next 3 biggest future grow?
I want to have a relationship with at least 5 local restaurants.
Okay.
I want to fully fill out my team in all the areas that I need assistance in. I want to have a legitimate team. I'm not saying my team currently is not legitimate, but I mean, as far as there's still areas that I'm having to do, I want to have somebody, some bodies there.
Yeah.
I want to host more events. That was my goal this year. But
all this is about to happen.
Yeah.
It's all
host
going down.
way more events because I love to connect with my customers. I like to get to know, see people's reaction, you know. So I love to see that. And I will probably say my bottles in stores. They're going to be in stores. They will.
Come on.
They're going to definitely be.
In
that was
stores,
actually,
let's
run it back because that's number 1. That's definitely number 1, my bottles in stores. And then the 5, the relationship with 5 restaurants I will have. And then my last one, I would probably say financial increase. I'm being honest. So,
these are all big grows.
Yeah, these are big grows.
Let's watch this. Wow, we can't wait to watch it grow. So, with that being said, can you give your number 1 recommendation, and your expert opinion, of course, book, app, or website for people that's looking to get into the industry?
Website. I'm going to definitely say YouTube.
YouTube, come on.
People downplay YouTube. Exactly. People downplay YouTube. YouTube has connected me with so many big companies, and it's been very helpful. It goes back to the virtual mentor. It's like, very helpful.
Who's your favorite YouTuber as far as this?
I'm not going to say.
I'm
not going to say because it's not even wine related. It's
more
so.
Oh, no, I was talking about the wine related one.
Oh, it's my favorite one is definitely not wine related. But I definitely agree with saying YouTube is like, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on your internet. Don't sleep on your resources that are literally in front of you. Don't feel like you have to take countless classes or be at a specific level to achieve what you're trying to achieve. The information is there. So I say YouTube. Yeah. Come
on, listen to Lex. Don't make it too complex or too perplex.
You be coming with the slow. I'm gonna come to you with all my little slogans for my events. I'm like, what should I say? Hashtags. I'm gonna come to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna look in the sky like this for a second, then I'm gonna say, okay, say this.
Exactly.
So make sure people know where they can find you, where they can order from you.
Okay.
And where they can reach out to you.
You can definitely find me on IG, Lexi Sangria. Well, Lexis _ Sangrias, not Lexi Sangria. It's an S on the end of that. Order form is definitely in my bio. And you can reach out to me through Messenger. Like, I'm always, even though I'm not out there promoting right now, I'm still being watchful of as far as everything on the feed and whatnot. So being there. So yeah, because definitely my customers talk to me through my Messenger all the time.
Come on, people, reach out, show up, and don't forget to support.
Yes, come on here, support. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask me. I mean, I'm really responsive. So, yeah.
It was a privilege and an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much for even having me here. I appreciate it.
On my Secret Mentor, as you service as a Secret Mentor alumni. And before we go, I want to remind the people, dreams plus action equals life.